Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm architect Pooja Kothari and today I'm going to tell you the importance of a floor plan, a plan. I'm sure all of you know what a plan is. Plan is basically the layout of the design. It is how the spaces have been arranged and what dimensions they have been arranged to. It's a document that is usually created by architects or designers and acts as a blueprint for construction referred by all the laborers or workers or anybody involved in the project. Let me start by explaining the two different types of plans that you will typically see given by any designer or on the web. So here on my screen is on the left side is a site plan and on the right side is a floor plan. Now, what does a site plan really mean? The site plan is basically if you have a 40 by 60 site, what is the landscaping that will have, where are the compound walls, from where is the plinth going to start and where is the actual house boundary and how are the other amenities like car parking, wash areas, security rooms, etc. placed on that plan. So the floor plan will have all the details of how each of the rooms have been arranged next to each other, how the rooms interact with each other, how one space is connected to the other space, how furnitures are placed, how doors, windows are placed so that you have a good ventilation system within the house. And your floor plans are generally going to come along with your other detailed drawings, which is elevation, a section or any other form of detailed drawing. It is generally incomplete without those drawings. Now, a designer will give you a front wall. He will tell that it's an elevation, but what's on his mind is not known to you until and unless he's going to give you that elevation drawing or a reference picture for you to understand that, okay, this is what he has planned for the elevation. A plan is a very important document and that's what it contains. Now, let me start with talking about the advantages of a plan. So the first advantage of having a floor plan is it is a functional design. What I mean by a functional design, for example, in this plan that you see, the kitchen and dining is arranged next to each other. So here you get to know that how close is kitchen to the dining and how functionally it is arranged. If I had kept the kitchen in the southeast corner and the dining in the area where the living is currently placed, then the proximity would be very far. It would not be very functional. The second advantage is space optimization. Say a builder or a contractor is going to give you a floor plan. You know the room dimensions. You know that the room is 10 by 12. You know that the room is 14 by 13. You know that the room is 9 by 10. But you don't know if all the furniture that you want to fit in that room will happen or no. So this is why we talk about space optimization. Now, by arranging different furnitures in that room, we try to accommodate all the requirements of a client in that particular room. Like for example, in the guest bedroom plan that you see here, we had just enough space for a long wardrobe and a study. We do not have place for dressing. Also because of Vastu reasons, because it cannot come on the west side. And that's the reason we have attached the dressing area with the bedside table. And that's how we have optimized the space. That's how we have created more space in the available space. Plan helps you get aesthetically pleasing appearances or aesthetically pleasing structure. Tell that there is a slab projection so that you can get cantilevers. So until unless you're not going to show that in the plan, until unless you're not going to decide that in the planning stage, it is never going to happen on site. If a slab ends at a particular point in your drawing, then on site also it ends at that point because it is a blueprint. The fourth advantage that I want to talk about is the universal design elements or features that a plan has. Now, a plan is always done on basis of basic ergonomics that has to be followed. For example, a toilet plan. Now, as soon as you open the door, you wouldn't want to have a wet area. So you will have to plan it. You will have to plan that the shower area is away from the toilet door. You will have to plan that the dry area is closer to the toilet door. And then you will also have to plan the dimensions or distances between these, fixtures, like say between the shower and the WC. Or between the sink and the WC, you will need a minimum of 1 feet 6 inches space. That's a standard norm. So you will have to follow that and make the plan. And by doing this, by following the universal design elements, you are able to create something which is going to be suitable for all members of your house. The fifth and the very important advantage of a plan is it helps you create structurally sound and safe structures. Now, in the plan, if he is given a corner pillar and I say that it's disturbing my element, until and unless I don't specify that in my plan, that it is supposed to be moved so that it is structurally sound also and aesthetically pleasing also, he will not be able to detail that out for me. So these are the things that have to be given in your initial plan so that it can be followed through by your consultants in the following plan. The next importance or advantage of a plan is it has to be budget and pocket friendly design. Now this is very important because already when you start a house, you know that you just have a minimum amount of funds that have been kept aside. Whether you are designing a high-end residence, whether you are designing a middle-class home with a very basic budget is always a fixed number that is there on your mind. It's not like, okay, you start the work and I will keep flowing the money. Nobody has that. So you already know there is a fixed budget. A plan will basically help you limit yourself within that budget. Suppose you say that you have the money only to build up to 2 floors of the house, which is about say 3000 square feet area of the house, which is 1 and 2 floors, G+1. And if that is not planned for in the same area, if the designer ends up giving more than 3000 square feet area and he probably gives you about 3200 square feet area of planning, then what happens? You have to have the budget to construct that additional 200 square feet area. When you translate it, 200 into 2000, so approximately you need to calculate for a 4 lakh extra budget, which if you have not thought of will be a disaster for you on your pocket. So that's why planning is very important so that you can limit yourself in the given budgets. The seventh advantage is optimizing your natural light and ventilation. Now this for any house, any space is very important. And your plan definitely gives you the locations and sizes of your doors and windows. If you see here, we have given a double height space so that there is ventilation from the far end, which is the east to the west, and through the north and south windows. So here we have taken care that from all 4 sides there is enough air movement that will happen. The next advantage is of course your sustainable design elements. Now everybody is trying to do their best to save Mother Earth by applying a lot of sustainable solutions, sustainable design elements. For example, if you have to plan for a solar water heater or solar electricity, so your solar electricity will have to be planned in the initial planning stages and connect all the electrical conduits so that you can also give provision and space in the terrace for the solar panels. The next advantage of having a plan is they are always adaptable and flexible. For example, here we have removed the powder toilet because the client thought it's not going to be useful and we have replaced it with a kids library. You wouldn't know what to put there, or you wouldn't know that you want to remove something until it is constructed. If you didn't have a plan, you don't have a document to refer back, right? Plans also help you maximize the views around your site. This is very important. You can benefit a lot from all the site views that you get. For example, a sunset view that we are getting here from the terrace area. If I had not planned for it, I think there would be a wall there and I would never know that there is a sun setting on that side. A plan is very important to even mark your surrounding areas to be able to interact with those surrounding views that you have. Plans will also come handy when you have to design climate-specific designs. Now, what do I mean by climate-specific designs? So, say for example, this is a building which is being constructed in Kurnool, and we know that Kurnool already is a very hot area. The temperatures are high, and generally the southwest or the west side of sun hits really hard. So to tackle this heat problem in this building, what we have done is we have kept the south and the west layers as much as covered as possible. Here we have planned a feature wall wherein it covers the entire room, and we've just kept a very small opening of window for air circulation. Durability and low maintenance. Now you will ask me, how can you plan durability by making some layouts? So here is an example. On the left side, if you see on the very basic line diagram, I have put overlays of materials to denote what kind of flooring we will have in the living area, in the foyer area, in the car parking area, or a plantation we are going to have around the house. So these are going to help me decide with the materials, and hence it will be a durable or a low maintenance option that I can opt for. Plans help you make the structures compliant with building codes and bylaws. So if you are aware, there are local bylaws and standards for you to leave setback areas around a plot while you start constructing, so that the neighbors are not going to get affected, or the ventilation in their house is not going to get affected. You have how much floors you can construct it, how many floors are permissible in your area, because the flight movement will not be affected. Similarly, there are many other smaller bylaws which adhere to the standards of kind of materials to be used while constructing, the kind of dimensions or kind of safety measures to be given while constructing, post-construction, and even to a level where National Building Code also mentions what kind of indoor air quality or what kind of indoor environment should be given to a user on completion of a building. So these are certain standards and codes which have already been set, which architects will know very well, and they generally design based on these standards. Now, a plan will also help a homeowner get some financial support from banks, or even for that matter, insurance. You can plan the design in such a way that it is compatible with the homeowner's insurance requirements. For example, you can avoid usage of wood, and maybe the insurance policy also specifies that you have to use a non-flammable element for kitchens. So things like that will help the clients also get insurance in case of any mishap. Plans will allow you to create a sense of flow and continuity. So flow of spaces is basically how a bedroom will connect to a bathroom, how the bedroom will connect to the common areas, the passage or the living room. There has to be a continuation, a path that you walk in through the house. So a plan will help you decide that path. It will help you decide how closely the master bedroom and the living room should be placed, or how far the kitchen and the main door has to be placed. A plan will definitely help you accommodate all the features and amenities that your client desires. Here we have a multi-purpose hall or a multi-purpose area. My client wanted a swing here, he wanted a library here, he wanted a recliner here, treadmill also here. Now, space is a limited entity, all of you agree. And because I have these requirements beforehand, I have been able to plan it wisely, and I have been able to accommodate all of these features. Say I have created a multi-purpose hall and the same requirement came a little later. It would be much difficult for me to accommodate, because my window placements would be different and would create hurdles. Plans help you complete the project on time. Very, very, very important, because you know that the timelines just keep stretching. If you don't have a strong builder, architect, contractor, or a PMC on board, an architect always will ensure that the project is done as fast as possible, because time is money for them. A flow plan will help you plan around the timeline of the house, of when you have to start the foundation, when you have to, start laying the bricks, when do you have to start doing the plastering. All these schedules will be followed through different plans that will be given to you. For a contractor, your plan is a big reference point for him to plan out the activities. So I had created a flow plan, and very initially itself, the client had given it to a Vastu Pandit, so that he could put his compass and check for Vastu issues. We were freezed on the plan. We were very close to starting the foundation and construction. And that's when the client realized, or the Vastu Pandit indicated, that the guest bathroom that you see here should not be placed where it is, which happens to be the northeast of the room. He suggested that instead you put it in the south side of the room. and then we shifted this bathroom from that corner to here. This was possible because we had a plan and somebody could refer to that plan and suggest the changes on that plan, and also because we had not started constructing in the plan stages itself, we were able to spot out the issues and rectify them. Plans definitely help you avoid very costly mistakes. Initially plan for a large window on the west instead of having the entrance on the west because of vastu concern, but as the construction progressed, the client felt the need for a west entrance, for a larger west entrance right in front of the gate. Now, despite telling them that if you create a opening here, we will have to give steps to go into that opening, which will reduce the car park area space, they still insisted that we go ahead with the door. And today on site, we don't have enough space to just park the car vertically. Now we will be doing it diagonally. And that's also with a lot of jugaad that we have figured out of how the car has to be parked. Some things can be avoided if the same west door had been planned a lot before construction and not been done in the end moment. We could have saved some space for the car park. We could have planned certain things differently on the northwest. So a plan will help you visualize the final product. Now, how do I know that I want to have this sort of arrangement in my house and this sort of elevation or this sort of spacious quality in my house? Until and unless I don't have a plan, I will not be able to even construct walls for it. Even in my 3D software, I need to know where what is happening to be able to generate something accurate, and that's why a plan will come handy, so that you can generate a structure in the 3D and visualize your final product as to how it looks, and if you need any changes, that can be made even before the construction starts. The next very important thing is, of course, financing. Most of Indian homes happen on loans, so until and unless you don't give them a plan, your loans are not going to be sanctioned, and sometimes they require a architect to be able to give you the plan, give the specs, and only then will the financing team approve the finances for your new home. So a plan is very important. Of course, these plans also are given by different government bodies at a cost of 5-10,000, so that you just get enough approvals, and then a actual design plan is generated by the architects or designers working on that particular plot. Your floor plans will definitely help you reduce a lot of construction costs. For example, if you notice here, there was a beam which has been put into the kitchen area. Had we planned, had the clients given us a different brief earlier and we had planned it earlier, we could avoid the entire cost of creating that beam by giving some slab solution, and we could have eliminated that beam completely. We could have saved the cost there. A plan will definitely increase the resale value of your home. Your plans are definitely going to help you make your home more livable and comfortable for yourself, because the plans are going to highlight every requirement of yours that is incorporated in that. An architect and a contractor plan things differently. When I say contractor, I'm going to include all your BTech guys, your civil guys. They are trained to give you correct structures. They are trained to do project management. They are trained to do cost cutting so that you can construct the home in the given budget, and they can also earn some money out of it. But an architect is trained to do very, very well designs. They are trained to give you comfort. They are trained to make better space utilization. They are trained to get experiences out of the spaces. They are not going to sit and do cost cutting. They are going to focus on designing. And here on the left is a plan made by a BTech engineer who is also a contractor for the same house. And when we were hired, this is how we have designed the same space. So just look at the bedroom and the dressing room and the bathtub area here. There is so much of space wastage, and in the same amount of space we have been able to accommodate a powder toilet, a daughter's room toilet, the walk-in, the master bathroom toilet. All of it has been accommodated very nicely without any space wastage and with a very efficient planning which has been done here. So this is the amount of detailing that will go into any plan, and you can see the difference for yourself. So guys, this was everything about the importance of a plan, why a plan is so important during the construction stage, and why a plan is not merely a line layout that you visualize it to be. A plan has a lot more to do. I have seen homeowners was just ask me for, give me the plan and I'm good, I will be able to construct. When an architect is designing a plan, he is visualizing something for each wall. He's visualizing the space, he's experiencing that space in his head. So for you to be able to just create some walls by taking his plan will never give you that kind of experience of a home. My whole point was not to glorify architects here, it was just to educate you about why plans are so important and why a well-designed plan is important. Thank you so much, guys. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comment section. I will definitely answer to them. And if you have any specific content that you would want me to cover, please post that too. I will be happy to cover it. Thank you.